Hey, Shalom, Akim Siyabatazak, coming back with another video. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahawashi. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to all you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth, striving for the hopeful elect, enduring all afflictions and seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yahawashi, Waharakakadash, Barakatam Akim. I just want to do a, Lord willing, be a quick video. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, it don't ever turn out to be that way. But just basically just exhorting brothers, even myself, stay focused. Because you had Yahawashi had called you into a profession that is of great praise, okay, that is of great worth, and is not to be replaced. Before I jump off with this one, let me go ahead and just bring this one out. This is an oldie but goodie, okay? I believe it's in Isaiah 33. All right. Let's see. Let me see. It's lock you. All right, like, since I made that comment, that you don't need, the Most High had chosen you and called you into a goodly profession. Oh, I'm in Jeremiah, I'm in Isaiah. It's lucky. He called you into a goodly profession, and you're not gonna want to go outside of that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna want to be focused in the ministry, of Yahawashi, striving for the hopeful elect, enduring all afflictions, not only for yourself but for the brothers, and staying preoccupied in prophecy, as much as you can, because at any given moment it can be stripped away, man. So I'm gonna jump out with Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it had commanded, and his spirit it had gathered them. You see, so it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord. So how do you seek the Lord? By studying, by reading. That's how you gain a personal relationship with Yahawashi. Okay, people say they want the truth and nothing but the truth. So act like it. You can't have one foot in the world and one foot with Yahawashi. It don't work that way. So it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Okay, no one of these shall fail. What is that talking about? The prophecies, the promises are not going to fail. As long as you remain a good soldier of Yahawashi and not entangle yourself with the affairs of this life, you're good. All right. So it says, none shall want her mate. You ain't gonna want to go outside of that. You ain't gonna want to pick up a different philosophy, doctrine, another hobby outside of you already having to work here in Babylon, and entangle yourself therein with that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Yahawashi has given us exactly what we need. When you start going outside of the things that he already has set before you, you start entangling yourself. All right, you start becoming getting trapped up in snares and things of that nature. So it says, and none shall want her mate. You ain't gonna want nothing outside of this truth, because you're gonna be satisfied. You know what you want. You know what I'm saying? For my mouth it had commanded. Many are called, but few are chosen. So by the Spirit of Yahawashi, he has commanded you to do the work. To bid the guests to come in for the great feast of the Lord. All right. His Spirit it hath gathered them. So the Spirit of Yahawashi, it has gathered. It's gathering the elect, the brothers, throughout the four corners of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? To do the work, to stay focused. You see what I'm saying? And to maintain ourselves in the ministry. Because once we start caring about the affairs of this life, you know what I'm saying, getting too deep, you're gonna find out that you're gonna get caught and switched up in there. You're gonna be caught up in there. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be like that. You got a lot of people out here that try to do too much. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers may be able to, others might or not able to. You know, but it's a risky thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So what Yahawashi has given you, you know, use that to do. You know what I'm saying? Use that to do that. You know what I'm saying? What you got to do. So let me go back to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahawashi HaMashiach, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thyself to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also." And that's what your command. You come in under as in the stead of a disciple, and a disciple is what? A student that is there that is there to learn. So when you're there to learn, you're going to increase in knowledge, and you're going to go from level to level, and you're going to be able to teach others. All right, this thing is not just one thing where you come in and that's it. You just stop right there. You know what I'm saying? And you can just drop out. There's no quitting in this thing. Okay? This ain't no high school beauty dropout type shit. This is real life thing that you have to maintain and keep yourself going, man. And at the end of the day, it's up to Yahawashi. Verse 3, "Thou therefore in dear hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi Mashiach." You know, because it's not an easy thing. But you were called, therefore you got to maintain yourself and put on as the hopeful elect, being an example to the fold. You know, now that you've seen the you know, maybe if it was 10, 15 years back, yeah, you can do all these extra shit. But now that you've seen the prophecies manifest themselves more and more as the days progress, there's no time for none of that stuff, man. It's time to gird up thy loins and put on your armor. You know, it says, "No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life." You ain't gonna try to get yourself trapped up if you're at war, man. You can't have nothing on your mind but what's in front of you. You know, what's on the line, or else you're gonna lose it, right? That he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. You know, just using the U.S. Army or whatever type of soldiers they got out there, you don't see them be playing games. You know, they'll play like, you know, some games like washers, horseshoes, you know what I'm saying, dominoes, card game, but it's real quick. You know what I'm saying? But they're still on their watch. They're still doing what they got to do, and then when they're playing games, who are they playing games with? The fellow soldiers. They're not hanging out with 2/3. They're not doing all this extra shit with 2/3, and you know what I'm saying. And that's not part of the deal when you come to serve Yahawashi, man. You know, is it wrong to want to get some leisure time and enjoy yourself, work out and stuff like that? No, there ain't no problem with that. You know, but evaluate the situation. And don't be willful. Don't be headstrong, because being that way, that pride is going to spring up in you. All right? And once pride starts springing up in you, you're done, man. Unless the Most High sees fit that you're going to be you're going to repent of that. So it says, "And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully." You know, in order to reach that mastery, to reach that finish line, you're gonna be practicing in this thing. This is that hobby, so-called hobby. You know, this is your passion. This should be your passion. You know, and then you're gonna increase in that, and you're gonna receive that crown. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna receive that crown only if you strive lawfully. You know. The husbandman that laboreth must must be first partakers of the fruits. Consider what I say. Consider what I say, man. To the spirit and power of Yahawashi, as Paul was telling Timothy. All right? Consider these words, man. And the Lord give thee understanding in all things. Don't just think about yourself. Don't just think about what you think you need. Think about what the Spirit, you got to judge all things now. What is good for you, what is not good for you. All right? Now that you're in this calling, you're gaining this knowledge, there's people out there that are waiting to be woken up. That means, therefore, you have to increase in learning. You have to study. You're seeing the prophecies come to pass more and more. You're hearing the brothers tell you more and more. What does that mean? That you got to get more on that level. All right? Let's go over here. See, Salakia. This computer moves. This phone is moving slower and slower as the days go by. This is 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child, understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as I also am known. So as you grow in this thing, you're going to become more and more wise, and you're going to become more sound in the doctrine. And then you're going to be more able to make proper discretion. You know what I'm saying? Versus a child don't have that ability. They don't have the ability to make discernments, to properly comprehend, you know. So you got to really think about these things, consider these things, and know what time you're in, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about, you know, you gotta look at the ancient past. You think the prophets of old were, you know, doing all this extra shit? No, man. Deep down in myself, I don't believe they were. I believe they were they lived life and stuff like that. Yeah, they smiled, they laughed and stuff like that, but they were maintaining in the spirit of Yahawashi, man. You know, as if the Lord could return at any day. You know what I'm saying? So what does that mean? That they were always in a serious mode, you know, serious mentality. Look at Yahawashi, he was on the earth, and it said that he was as an austere man, you know. But I just want to bring this out, you know what I'm saying, and hope it was edifying to some of your brothers. Like I said, man, like, you can have your time, you can do your time, you can do whatever it is that you want, you know, but don't get too involved, don't get too entangled. You know what, I'm bringing this one out, and I'll end it with this, the book of Luke, chapter 21. All right, you want to get too involved, all right. This is Luke 21 and 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. You know, and you got to, like I said, you have to judge all things, because it could be a temptation, which is set up to, in the scenario, you may think it can be innocent, but really is there to take you out. Okay. I remember when I first came in, you know, I used to b-boy, you know what I'm saying, breakdance, and I had been doing that shit since I was in my teenage years, you know. So I'm saying, like, maybe 10, 12 plus years breakdancing, b-boy, you know what I'm saying, competing, you know, traveling and competing and stuff like that. And that was my passion, man. I loved that. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? And to this very day, I still watch it. I still, you know, try to bust a move when I hear music. You know what I'm saying? But I came to the realization a long time ago that I had to give that up. If I was gonna serve the Lord, that was like a sacrifice that I had to give up and towards serving the Yahawashi. You know, you ain't gonna see me going to competitions and competing and acting like I'm still trying to relive a dream and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really think about this cause that you came into. You know what I'm saying? Verse 35, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.